Hello, this is the Fairbanks grill gazebo. I haven't seen anything on the web or on the internet or even YouTube that even shows this video of anything of this nature. And I just want to kind of show everybody how this is going so far. It's on a concrete slab. A picture's worth 1,000 more details. This thing says that you need 6 to 8 people to put this thing together. I really don't understand why they say that, because me and my son's been putting this together so far. I guess maybe perhaps if you lay this thing on the ground and you put it together that way and then try to flip it back up, I guess maybe that's why you need that many people. But anyway, the directions are kind of hard a little bit. If you're a good handyman, you can figure it out. But right now I'm working on the roof. I've got most of the frame done. I'm working on the bottom panels for the roof where you screw it into. This one right here is the C1. You can see this is the wine glass holder right here. Be careful when you're putting this thing together, because this metal is pretty flimsy, and if it falls you can dent it real easily. This is part of the wine glass holder. This is kind of confusing to me. These screws right here, these holes are so big. I really don't understand why they made them so big. Maybe I guess to make an adjustment to slide them, but when you get to that point you're gonna think, man, that ain't gonna work, because that bolt goes right through there and that washer goes right through there, but it will hold. That's an interesting point to make. These are the C2s that are up here on the very top. Be sure when you put those on, there's some holes on one side of that, but make sure they're up, because that's where your panels are going to screw into that thing. So make sure you put it right. And there's actually 2 of them, but I haven't put the other one on yet. And this is over here is the other C1. It goes right here according to the directions. This is the hook holder that holds all the utensils right here. You can see my utensils that I just kind of threw up there to show y'all. This right here, this table, that's probably going to be the heaviest thing of your whole deal. It is pretty heavy. I do recommend you use 2 people, you know, especially some of those beams on top. You can't, it's hard to do it by yourself if you're going to put it on your head or something to hold it. But as soon as my slab cures a little bit more, I'm going to attach it to the concrete, get me some concrete bolts, drill some holes and put in there. But and I'll keep videotaping this thing to see how it goes. But like I said, the instructions are very vague. I mean, they're not easy, but the only problem I had, like I said, was the first initial phase there. But other than that, it's going pretty good so far. This is the outside of it, other side. I will tell you that this thing weighs, I think on the shipping papers it said it weighed 347 or 367. It's extremely heavy in the box. And Lowe's is not going to put it wherever you want to. So basically they're just, I mean not Lowe's, but the people they hired to deliver it. They're just going to put it in the front somewhere for you. So you better put it somewhere where if you're not going to get to it, you leave it there for a while, because it's really hard to move. And what I did is just took out piece by piece and moved it to the backyard. I don't know if you can see that, but I was telling you a while ago that this material is pretty flimsy. I had this upright by itself, and a gust of wind come by and it fell down. I kind of put a dent in it, but that's, you know, oh well. I did make my slab. It's about 9 feet 2 inches 3 inches wide, and it's about I'm sorry, that's 9 feet 2 or 3 inches long, and the width is right at 6 feet. And you can see that I barely got in the perimeters on that deal. But it's important to put this thing on something level. I would not put it on the ground itself, because I know this stuff is painted, but if you get it scratched up anyway, it can rust or build rust on it, even though I know it's aluminum. But I recommend, if you don't want to use a slab, just get you some concrete blocks and put them on there. But it needs to be level, especially when you put the roof on. You don't want something hanging down 3 or 4 inches low on one side than the other. And I did put me a little PVC pipe coming up. The reason I did that is I'm going to run electricity to this thing and put me some rope lights around it, probably some red or some green. That way I can see at night when I'm cooking. And I used the maximizer, which I'll never do again for this concrete slab because it's just too hard to work with. It has too many rocks in it. I want to try something different than Quikrete, but the maximizer, I used like 18 bags to do this slab, but the Quikrete, the 80-pound bags, both of these are 80-pound bags. The Quikrete, you're probably going to have to use close to 30 bags, but that stuff's a lot easier to work with than the maximizer.